What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be, and welcome back to Exos Heroes on this very early morning down here in Austin, Texas. In today's video, Exos Heroes received a patch update yesterday on a Sunday fun day. Ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't ready for that. So in today's video, let's talk about a few things that patch entailed, starting off with the brand new character banner starring Bernavas. So I know the question has got to be, FJ, is Bernavas worth rolling for? And my answer to that question is no yes. All right, it's no yes. Mostly no, but a little bit yes, but mostly no. Let's talk about what this character entails, and then of course I'll tell you what my thoughts on as far as what this means for the meta and maybe the future meta. Now, her kit itself is majorly unchanged. The only thing that's been added to this character is the inclusion of a synergy with Janai via Retribution. So Retribution marks a target with Retribution if the target is charmed for 3 turns. One thing you'll notice is that Retribution matches the shock duration. So 3 turns of Retribution, 3 turns of shock. Same thing here on Atomic Burst, Retribution, same exact thing, 5 turns of shock, 5 turns of Retribution if you have Janai. So, of course, the next question has got to be, FG, what is Retribution? Retribution is shock. You confused yet? So, Bernavas has turned into a living exhibit meme, all right? She's like, yo, I heard you like shock, so I've added shock to my shock so you can shock people while you're shocking them, all right? This is such a weird, niche-y, like, the only thing that we've been able to come up with is that this is designed to counter the mechanic or the machine Guardian Stone meta that exists in other regions, not so much here in global. But here's the scenario, right? My diva, for example, has status effect immunity. You smack her in the face with a full swing cutter. You pop 1 status effect immunity with the shock. You pop it again with Retribution, which allows you to penetrate through the status effect immunity and then allow you to start applying debuffs to diva. Now, here's my issue with all that. That is such a niche application here. It's so niche that I cannot imagine a scenario where you bring both Bernavas and Janai into a battle to counter what may or may not be a fully machined out character. I don't see you bringing both of those characters to counter a meta like this. Come on a journey with me right now. Pretend I have Diva. The only thing my Diva is using her status effect immunity to do is to last hit your tranquil units. So you bring 2 characters to combat to counter my little measly final hit. It doesn't seem like a smart trade-off, and like I said, that only assumes that you're going against a character, that you're going against an opponent that has a full machine set that is so detrimental to your success of winning that you have to bring 2 characters to counter it. I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not. So with that, I think, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier when I was saying, is this banner a banner worth rolling on? I was like, no, yes. Mostly no, but a little bit yes. Here's the yes part. We don't know what's coming in the future when it comes to PvE, right? I think right now in the game as it sits right now, the game that we have in front of us today, I think she's an easy skip. I think if you really, even if you do want her, get her on an accident via off-bannerness. But in the future, we don't know what the future Labyrinth is gonna look like. We don't know what the future challenge mode that they started to tease in season 2 looks like. Is there going to be more enemies in the PvE game that have status effect immunities that need to be popped, per se, as opposed to having characters that are just like what we see a lot in PvE right now is just flat out, we're immune to status effects. Haha, you can't even do anything to us. Maybe in the future in these challenge modes, you have characters that have status effect immunity that you can pop and penetrate through before they're refreshed. We actually see something similar to this system in like 7 Deadly Sins. So in 7 Deadly Sins, there are certain boss characters that you fight that you can do debuffs to them during their turn, but once their turn comes back around, their status effect immune again. They clear them all off. Maybe I can foresee something in Exos Heroes where if you can kind of penetrate through some of those status effect immunities before their turn comes back around, you can then do debuffs to them that can really alter the battle in a positive way for you. I can see it. We don't know that's possible, and of course FG is completely making things up with no facts whatsoever to back them up. But that's the only reason why I give it a slight yes, because this skill set, this change, just seems so nichey, it makes me suspicious. All right, it is so nichey, it makes me suspicious. All right, so that is my thoughts on the new and improved Bernavas. If you want to roll for her, FG says no yes. All right, the other big change, of course, is now Dragon Blood. So now Dragon Blood, more importantly, Dragon Scale and Wrath, now they scale off of your current attack and your current defense. Before, they used to just be your base attack, base defense. Now it's current attack, current defense. Now here's the interesting thing about this change. It's a buff to Dragon Blood units, but it also opens them up to be countered as well. It's actually quite creative. So at the same time, they're buffing Dragon Blood, which I agree that a lot of people are like, wait a minute, nobody wants Dragon Blood to be buffed. But they buffed them in a way that also opens up more counters towards them. So the buff would be characters like Yao, for example. If you want to make your Dragon Blood even stronger, you can buff up your attack 32%. We also have characters like Scarlet in the meta right now that also buff attack as well. So the door has opened up to make Dragon Blood more of a potent attack, but it also has opened it up to be countered as well. Once again, I have no facts to back any of this up, but I absolutely foresee more characters being added to the game that have minus attack AoE debuffs and plus AoE defense. Well, we already have a few of those, but you know what I'm saying. More characters that have AoE minus debuff as well. So I think, once again, like I said, I think it's a buff, but at the same time, it's also opening the door up to make them more counterable in different ways. So I actually kind of like this new Dragon Blood change, because as opposed to just flat nerfing it and screwing over everyone that rolled for this, they change it in a way that it just opens it up to be countered in more creative ways. So maybe we see more diversity in the PvP meta. Like I said, maybe we see featured characters that can also either help Dragon Blood or hinder Dragon Bloods in such a way. So I like this change. Once again, we gotta see more of it, but I like this change. So those are kind of my thoughts on the Wrath and the Dragon Scale changes there. Like I said, I think it's actually a creative way of low-key buffing Dragon Blood, but at the same time, open it up for more counters. I know some people are concerned thinking that this might be bringing Wrath too far, but at least in PvP. In PvE, give me more Wrath damage. I think stacking someone like Yao to make your Wrath do even more damage, I think is gonna be kind of cool when it comes to PvE. I don't necessarily see it too much in PvP, and let me kind of explain why. Is because in PvP, there is no shortage of damage, right? There is plenty of damage being generated in PvP right now. So yes, in theory, could you add Yao to your lineup, increase your damage, add Scarlet, increase your damage, and do tons and tons of damage to your PvP opponents? You absolutely could, but you can already pretty much do that, all right? There's already a ton of damage already being thrown around in PvP. The thing that I think is most important in PvP right now is not generating more damage, it's generating more finesse. All right, what that mean, FG? I'm gonna tell you, right? It's trying to navigate through all of the tranquils that are on the board. It's trying to navigate through navigating tranquil with Rara full heal at the end. It's navigating through Dragon Blood. Those are the things that I think have a more impactful impact on PvP right now, not necessarily raw damage. Because right now, you can go into PvP right now, do a big old massive AoE with a ton of damage, clear the entire board, and you still might lose thanks to Bathory being on the board, thanks to Dragon Blood, and thanks to Divine Baptism and things like that. You still, more damage doesn't necessarily equate a easier or better win right now in PvP. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt. But I don't think it's what a lot of us are lacking in PvP. So I don't see too many major changes there. But when it comes to making your Wrath even stronger, when it comes to future core raids, that I think is interesting. So that is the patch update, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and of course, how can we forget? How can we forget? Holy Dragon Grounds, ladies and gentlemen, you only have to do it one time now. Only gotta do it one time, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of having to do this 3 times per day, you only gotta do it 1 time per day with 3 times the reward. I'll take it. So that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick look at the patch update. Let me know what you guys think. Those are just my thoughts. Love to hear yours. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.